Friends, namaste. Today, the day I'm going to explain you how you could be prepared for a personal interview with the American consulate. You don't have to be worried at all. Everybody gets scared. The criteria one is you must choose a language which you're comfortable with at the time of preparing the application form, at the time of submission of the application form with the American consulate website. If you are good in Malayalam, if you think English is going to be difficult for you, you choose Malayalam. If you think no, English is okay for me, it's then better to be in English. Mostly they say that we have so much of education, we are so and so. Then when you don't put the language English, they start doubting, then how could you be with so and so experienced person? Then you have a reason to explain. I'll tell you that tip how to make it. First of all, when you go, your attire should be neat and clean and right, irrespective of what job and profession you are. Pleasant, light colors, better. And you must have preferably a smiling face, not the grievance or kind of face. Something is smiling, a natural face you must have. No need to put extra coat and this and that. You see the fuming heat in the month of May, and then you are going with all the coats, and it's all just made of. No need to. You can go in a very casual dress, but something proper. Just don't wear just a small piece of something which is not affecting your personality. Something cool. Just because American visa is in America, you must go like a cowboy with cap and all those things. No, not necessary. Tie, it's not necessary. Go whatever you're comfortable with. Inside the consulate, you cannot carry anything, not even a glass of water, except the application forms and stuff which you have, the documents. Not even the mobile phone. You can't take mobile phone or any kind of stuff, no camera, nothing. So that all you have to give it outside to your relatives or friends who are going to be waiting for you, and you must just go only with your credibility and the credentials and the papers which are required to be submitted to the consulate. Now you don't have to have a photograph. They will take a photograph of yours. So when you go for the first one where you have to give the biometrics, take all your papers and go to them. They'll just check the appointment which you have got, both the appointments. They are very concerned about that. So after checking that, they will see your passport. They see the passport, and they are the same person who has got appointment, and they would take your photograph over there, and they take your biometrics, and that's it. Only thing is, when you go for the biometrics, it should be clear that you have no cut, etc., or dirt or things in your fingers, and you have to be absolutely with the discipline. The CCTV camera everywhere, you must keep your discipline very well. If you are to be in queue, you have to be in queue. If you have to move forward, you have to move forward. And you cannot, as I told you, cannot carry the mobile, so you can't keep talking or taking photographs or anything. Okay? Alright. Now, after the biometric, that's an easy thing. Next day, the interview comes. The interview is there from 7 o'clock in the morning till 5:30 in the evening. Now, the post-COVID session, we do not know. So I'm talking to you as of 2019 December. Okay? What my experience, what my visuality. It is just only as a framework for information. What's our experience and knowledge? Not that you can do the same. There cannot be any claim which is asking to me that why is this, why is that. I will not be responsible for that at all. This is just the information guideline giving to you, which we have through our experience and knowledge. Okay? Right. Now, next day when you have the personal interview, as I told you, we begin very cool and calm with the proper attire as far as possible, in the cool way and submissive, pleasant-minded, not an aggressive way. That is very important, because you see, no country wanted a person who is a gunda or a hooligan or an aggressive person or an irritating person or a frustrated person, unpeaceful person. They do not want. They want people to be cool, good, best-hearted. You know, that's what everybody, when anybody whom you are expecting in your house, do you want someone who makes so much of trouble and bubble and too much of noise and no discipline, no queue, nothing, no system? No. Everybody loves to see, even a person who doesn't follow the system also would like to have people with the system and pleasantness and principled. So American concept no different from that. And whatever you have written in your application form, you must have that printout of that. You do not have to submit, you cannot give that. You shouldn't go with that. They say very clearly not to bring this for the personal interview. But that you can keep for your information, and what you have written, you should know what you have written. For example, your email ID. You may not remember the email ID fully of your own sometimes. Maybe you just made the email ID only for this purpose or a little before. So you may not remember, maybe, or you may be having a number of email IDs. So you don't remember which one you have given over here. So the email ID you should know well. Your telephone number, personal telephone number, you should know clearly. Your address you should know clearly. Plus, if you are given any address of your relative, immediate relative, or blood relative, or any other relations or friends, if there are any in America, their contact details, their address you must have. If you do not have, whatever you have, you must carry. The balance you must say, I do not know. I just, because you have a question like this, I replied this question, but I have no whereabouts. Alright? So that's what I am saying, truthful. Only going to prevail in the American consulate. No Tarigada business will run in American consulate. A number of people have tried. They only, maybe one in the 10,000 has one. But that's not something which we have to boast about. But I always suggest people, be true to yourself. Now, when you reach over there, they will check your appointment and see your passport. And then they take you inside, and you got to be coolly sitting in the place which you have. They have again the biometric papers they have to show, and you see all those things. And then when your time comes for the interview, that particular time they take you the right counter. They have about 28 to 32 counters. There are many visa seekers. So if it is a tourist visa, which is B1, B2, which is for leisure and business kind of, that they put you onto the line. Now, if you have a family group of about 8 people, you, your wife and your children, their husband or wives and the children, so many of them, they try to put in 2 different lines. So you can say that, look, this is my immediate family, you'd like to be together. You can request them. They listen, it's okay, otherwise you have to be separate. Whatever they say, you cannot argue with them, you cannot say no to them. What they explain or they ask you to do, suggestion, you have to just go through and accept it. You can request, that's all. Now, once you're on the line, you can see some people in front crying and weeping and making shoutings and against all those things. But be unmindful of that. Just remember what you have written and see that what you have to be replied, and again truthfulness. So when your term comes, generally I would suggest always when they see you have to put the papers in the front. So when they see your passport number, your name, they type it, they get the whole application what you have given in front of them. They'll ask you certain questions. Generally, they ask you the purpose of your travel. So if you're traveling on a tour, going on a tour, they ask you what the purpose of your travel. You say, no, I'm going to some place where you have a relative. Or you say, I'm just going to meet a friend. Or you're going to meet a friend, but you say, I'm going on a tour. No, the truth for what you're going, which are written in your application. If you are going on a tour, you have written the places which you are going to visit. If you are going to meet a friend and relative, you are writing the place where you are going to visit, the place, name in America. That only you must say if they ask you. And the purpose, what you are going for that purpose. You can't keep gimmick. Suddenly somebody at the consulate office outside they told, no, you should not say like that. You must say like this. I said I have my brother over there. No, you should not say your relatives there. They won't give the visa. Don't do that. Just be to yourself. Even if your husband is there, wife is there, tell the reason, truth. You are a travel agent, you are a tour operator, experienced people who have practiced well for so many years. They will explain you, correct you nicely. They will always tell you to be the truthful. That's why for this kind of thing, you must approach the professionals. Like if you are sick, if you happen to have some ailment, you don't take medicine which are told in the YouTube or some booklets. You go to the correct doctor, you do all the diagnosis and take the medicine. Sometimes even then that doesn't prove, you go to the second person. You take second and third opinion of it. If you have cancer or something, don't you take 3 and 4 doctors? Same way when you are seeking for something like this. As I told you, the American visa is known as mother of all visas. It's a 10-year visa. And if you have American visa, then any consulate you submit the papers, they overlook it. They don't, they're not very strict about it. When they know that you have an American visa in your passport, they generally tend to be softer on your case, including China visa. So be specific to what your purpose is and be specific in reply. If they ask you if you are given the language Malayalam or Tamil or Hindi or something like, and if they ask, the consulate officer generally asks you in English, and when you are in a different language, they bring a translator without any problem. So when the translator asks you the question in your respective language which you have requested, at that time, if you are very confident that you understood his question, you can answer him in English looking at his face. But if he is, after saying you must understand it and give the answer, you can look at the consulate officer, or you can look at the translator and give the answer for what the question is asked. Don't reply when somebody asks for the jackfruit, you don't say it is mango. This is one of the usual system we have. When we get little tense or something and we say what we want to say. No, you have to be listening very carefully, understanding what the question is, focus on his lip, focus on his face, understand what he is uttered, murmured. If it is not audible, request him, sir, pardon me, I didn't understand it. You can say that, there's no problem. They will ask, give this twice, 4 times. So you should reply, correct exactly what it is. Don't do any making up, makeover at the consulate's office inside. Give the answer, then they will ask you about your credentials, that what's your job, what's your earning, and do you have anybody abroad. That's the time if you write something and you give a different answer. No. So tell the truth. Tell about the relatives if you have anywhere abroad. If what is your job, and someday they may ask about the job credibility and what exactly it is. Suppose a person is looking for a visa for entertainment, for maybe somebody playing mridangam or some other instrument, musical instrument. They might ask you to do that and show, to know whether you are really going for that. You got to give all the information about the websites and all details. If there is a show going to be, the show notice, a show will come in various internet and social media. All those things you should be able to explain and show them, because you got to convince the officer that your purpose of travel is truthful, that you are going and finishing that and coming back. Suppose your children who are pregnant or whatever it is, you must explain them the thing. Correct? So once you have made your stand clear to what you written the application and what the question they ask, and you have replied correctly without any bit many secondary and thirdary corrections and no corrections, no joining, then they understood it clear. And your income means, to go on a tour to America, or if you are to go visit somebody, you need a good lot of money. The ticket alone comes more than 1 lakh. For 2 people, more than 2 lakhs. Sometimes tickets even may go more than that now, post-COVID time. And then you have to have the accommodation, visa, some money. Even though you are going to stay with your relatives, you still need to have some money. So to support these expenses, you need to have that much surplus amount, plus your regular upbringing. Regular routine, you need money. Suppose you have children, 2 children, 3 children, they are upbringing, you need money. You cannot say, I'm getting X amount of salary and all that money I put together for the last 2 years, I'm going to America. What about children, their education, there's so many things, your future planning of life. Correct? So these supporting documents which says that you have sufficient money to travel abroad, and that you should come back to your routine, your connected place, where you belong to, you are coming back. Because you have something over here, tie up, your children are there, or your parents are here, your job is there, your other economic resources are there, your financials are there. All this will literally force you to come back. If you don't have all these things and making stories, they know you're not going to come back. And then you might end up in some other trouble to the government of America. They don't want that to happen. So to convincing that whatever question they ask you, you have to give the right answer to them, explain them, and that's it. Another valid point is you must always be in tune with the question answer session. You cannot just at that time think something, oh, I just thought of something else and I forgot. I thought he asked like that. No, this thinking and thoughting process won't take place over there. Correct information, and supporting documents are required to be carried. You got to carry your, sometimes they don't want to see anything of your document. They are convinced about your other credentials in the American visa application form. Like where all you have traveled. So you say you are going to Europe, you are going to Japan, you have got X number of places, which means they know you have been traveling to so many places and on a tour as a tourist, and you would come back. Or if you see your children are there, they are into this job, and that's the passport copies and their credibilities about the financial arrangements, or they have their own house and things like. They know that they can look after. They will not be put to beg over there or hunt something on the road. So when they realize that, they wouldn't have any problem. But otherwise, if you are giving some distant relatives documents or some friends documents, they don't have any holding with you that they should look after you. Even though for getting the visa they give these documents, not necessarily they should do the same thing with you, which is a doubtful case. That is why the immediate blood relations documents, their credentials, their credibilities, their financials, they accept, and you can enjoy that. But if you're giving some distant relatives or some friends or somebody's marriage you're going, these are not something very important. So they will not consider that's the right thing. Sometimes maybe once in a while, but not otherwise. They are not very difficult in their English. They don't ask gwana and all. They ask the right English, which we have been using in the computers and on a daily routine life. Nothing to be worried about. And if you can't, you can speak into any language is your mother tongue, Malayalam, Tamil, Hindi, Oriya, Gujarati, Punjabi, anything. And to the respectively, they bring the translator accordingly. And if you are not a person who is an audible person, if you have some problem with the ears, hearing, you can put your mission and be in the consulate to answer his questions. There are some people who misunderstand that I cannot go with the hearing aid. No, nothing like that. Or I cannot go with the specs. No. Whatever you are, you be true to it. I am talking to you with my 45 years of experience in the trade, and also I've been holding American visa for the last more than 35 years. From 1984. I'm holding American visa. Of course, it's for 5 years, then 10 years, then again 5 years, and 10 years, and again. It's been going on. But till date, and even for future days, I have the American visa. So I know that is me. That means about more than 35, 36, 37 years. And I have another 3, 4 years again. So with this experience, I am explaining you. Be truthful. Be correct. Your intention should be very crystal clear. And that should be for the betterment of the government of government of America. It is not something to put trouble into government of America. They are very concerned about their country, their people, everything, their culture. Naturally, don't you? Aren't you concerned about your culture and your people and your country's benevolence? Same way, they are also. But when they are in the profession, they'll be more patriotic. They have to be. We all should be like that. So I admire the American consulate officers. I admire each one of them. Even at the airport, they're so concerned about it all. So you must be prepared, and you must have your financial documents, your bank statement for the past 6 months. Whatever the job you are doing, of that proof documents. If you have fixed deposit receipts or anything of that, financials or share certificates, that copies you must carry, and everything you must carry in original, not in photocopy, please. You must carry in original. And if you have some chartered accountant's letter, something which you are not able to explain because you have something in mutual fund, something somewhere else, and those papers are just a cutout from the site, which is not having any much relevance. If you have so, then you must take a chartered accountant's statement that this person is holding and so on. So they'll explain and give you correctly those things. And your income proof. And that you are tied up, you have your wife here. There's no point in being an unmarried person, you want to get the visa. So what you do, you get with somebody's stand, put a garland and take a photograph. See, I'm married, here's a photograph. No, that doesn't work. As in many cases like this, I don't allow anyone to come with this kind of a matter at all. I straight away tell them, please sir, don't do this with me. I am a very truthful person. I don't want to make money differently. All the people, all of you are listening to me, you understand it. You will know it. You know it very well. All the people who have been utilizing our services, been coming to my office. I have a very strict instruction in the office. All the girls and boys to say, never tell anybody that you get the visa and for that you are doing. Only we are doing the tourism, and for the tour purpose we are doing the visa, not for to stay back. If you have some good relations over there and your children or your parents over, if you want to stay over there for a few days, that they are welcoming, no problem. They allow you to stay for 6 months, 180 days. You have to come back before that. And you must tell them on arrival, look, I'm going to be here. They'll ask you, how long you are going to stay? So you should say. But if you say, I have no relative, then why do you stay? Then you should have the reason why you're staying. You're going on a tour, you're going to so-and-so place. You should have the proper answer, correct answer. That should be a truthful answer, not something you made up suddenly. Okay, so this is how you go for the American visa. Once they ask you 3, 4, 5 questions, some people they ask you about 10, 30, 25 questions. They even sometimes take you to another room and they ask you these questions. And sometimes they just on 3 questions or 4 questions or even 2 questions, they finish it up. They say you, congratulations. And that'll be such a nice, pleasant thing to hear. Whenever in the American consulate, you hear congratulations. That's a day made. So when they say congratulations, thanks them, give them, thank them, and you give the passport. All your originals you take back, nothing they want. They don't need. And if you're going into one thing more I forgot, you got to carry the credentials of the company, the company's letterhead letter by the travel agent, tour operator, and the brochure, and the receipt that you have made the payment for the tour cost, or the visa cost. Otherwise, how do they know you're going on into this? There's no proof. And if you're going for medical checkup, those papers, including your doctor's letter and the other side doctor who is inviting you, or the hospital who is inviting you, including the admission. Same principle for the students also. Principles are the same. That you have to be truthful, you must have a purpose of traveling, and you must have the financial ability of the same. And you must have a continuity back in your own hometown. That's all the questions. If you look into that question, everything is cleared. Okay, so thank you very much. Please subscribe, those who are not subscribed. Please share this matter to as many people as you can see, because there are many people who make mistakes and they lose a lot of money. They also get into so many people, tricky people going with so many other informations, wrong information, they lose money. No, don't do that, please. Don't do that. It doesn't help you, doesn't reach you anywhere. Don't do that. Be specific and be responsible. And be at home. You have enormous amount of job and earnings in your own hometown. You don't have to go to America and live over there, or any other country for that matter. We have enough natural wealth over here if you really want to make it up. There's no point in finding fault with the politicians or diplomats here and the people, the rulers. No. Each one of us have to build our own career, our own education, our own knowledge, our own practical experience. That is what is going to lead us. Don't forget to subscribe, and please watch and comment. Put your valuable comments. I'll be back after a few days and give you more and more information about the other visas, like how to do the UK visa, how to do Schengen visas, how to do Australia visa, how to do New Zealand visa. There are so many visas which people find difficult in finding out from the website and kind of stuff. So for the time being, thank you very much for your continued support and wish you all the best. And thank you for watching these videos and help us grow together so that I give you valuable information and support in life. And that will be a great feeling for me too. Thank you.